The stars looked the same as they always had from Admiral Hyun-woo's office window on Luna Station. But today, everything was different. Today, humanity learned they were not alone in the universe. Hyun-woo sat at his desk, reading the report for the 5th time. The message had come from deep space 3 hours ago. It was not meant for human ears, but Dr. So-young had been working for months to decode alien communications. Now they knew the truth. "Sir, Dr. So-young is here to see you," his assistant said through the intercom. "Send her in." So-young entered the office carrying a tablet filled with data. Her face was serious. She had spent the last 15 years studying space signals that most people thought were just cosmic noise. Today, her work had paid off in the most shocking way possible. "Admiral, I have translated more of their communications," she said, sitting down across from his desk. "The situation is worse than we thought." Hyun-woo leaned forward. "Tell me, everything." So-young touched her tablet and a holographic star map appeared above the desk. Red dots marked various locations across the galaxy. "This is the Galactic Council. They control 12 sectors of space. Each dot represents a different alien species." "How many species are we talking about?" Hyun-woo asked. "At least 47, that I can identify. Maybe more." So-young pointed to a small blue dot near the edge of the map. "This is us, Earth. According to their files, we are classified as a pre-contact civilization." "What does that mean?" "It means they think we are too primitive to join their council. They have rules about not interfering with worlds like ours. But Admiral, there is something else. Something dangerous." The hologram changed. A section of the map turned dark red, and arrows showed movement toward the council territories. "This is the Vectar Empire. They are not part of the council. They are expanding their territory and they are heading toward council space." Hyun-woo studied the map carefully. "Are they a threat to Earth?" "Eventually, yes. Their expansion path will bring them through our sector in about 10 years. But the real problem is that the council cannot stop them." "What do you mean?" So-young pulled up another file. "The council has been at peace for over 3,000 years. Their military forces are mainly for show. They have never fought a real war. But the Vectar are different. They are warriors. They have been conquering worlds for centuries." Hyun-woo stood up and walked to the window. Outside, he could see Earth in the distance, a blue marble against the black of space. "How do you know all this?" "I have been listening to their communications for months. The council members are scared. They keep talking about the Vectar advance, but they do not know how to fight them. And they do not know about our military capabilities." "No, sir. They think we are still using chemical rockets and nuclear weapons. They have no idea about Project Aegis. Project Aegis was humanity's greatest secret. For 50 years, Earth had been building a hidden space fleet. The project started during the Cold War when both sides realized that space would be the next battlefield. After the world united under the Global Defense Treaty, the project became humanity's top priority. Luna Station was just the beginning. Behind the moon, hidden from Earth's view, massive shipyards worked day and night. The best engineers from every nation contributed to building humanity's first real space warships. They were called Dreadnoughts, and they were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. "How long do we have before the Vectar reach council space?" Hyun-woo asked. "Based on their current speed, about 6 months, maybe less." Hyun-woo made a decision. "I need to see one of their battles for myself." Set up a meeting with Captain Jin-ho. 2 days later, Jin-ho stood in the same office. He was younger than Hyun-woo, but he had commanded more stealth missions than anyone in the fleet. His ship, the Ghost Runner, was designed to be invisible to both human and alien sensors. "Captain, I need you to take your ship to the edge of council space. I want to see how they fight." Jin-ho nodded. "When do we leave?" "Tonight. Dr. So-young will come with you to monitor their communications. I want a full report on their military capabilities." "Yes, sir. How close do you want us to get?" "Close enough to see everything, but far enough to escape if things go wrong. Remember, we cannot let them know we exist. Not yet." Jin-ho's mission took 2 weeks. When he returned, His report changed everything humanity thought about galactic warfare. "Admiral, their technology is impressive, but their tactics are terrible," Jinho said, showing video footage of a council military exercise. "They move their ships in perfect formations, but they have no concept of real combat." The video showed sleek alien ships performing coordinated maneuvers around a space station. Everything looked beautiful and organized, but Hyunwoo could see the problems immediately. "They grouped their ships too closely together," Hyunwoo observed. "One good shot could take out multiple vessels." "Exactly. And their weapons are all energy-based. Lasers, plasma cannons, particle beams. They have no kinetic weapons at all. No missiles, no projectiles? Nothing. They seem to think kinetic weapons are primitive. But sir, that might be their biggest weakness." So Young spoke up from her position at the communications console. "I have been analyzing their technical specifications. Their shields are designed to stop energy weapons, but they might not be effective against solid projectiles." Hyunwoo smiled for the first time in weeks. "Captain, what did you think of their ships?" "They are fast and maneuverable, but they are not built for real combat. Their hulls are too thin. Their engines are exposed. One good hit in the right place would cripple them." "And their soldiers?" "Most of the species in the Council have never fought a war. They do not even carry personal weapons. Their security forces use stun devices that would not stop a determined enemy." Hyunwoo turned back to the star map. "Dr. So-young, show me the latest intelligence on the Vectar." The hologram changed again. This time it showed dark, organic-looking ships that seemed to move like living creatures. The Vectar use biotechnology. Their ships are alive in some sense. They can heal from damage and adapt to new threats. "That explains why the Council is scared," Jinho said. "Energy weapons that work one day might not work the next if the bioships adapt." "But they cannot adapt to everything," Hyunwoo said thoughtfully. "Captain, in your opinion, could our Dreadnoughts defeat them?" Jinho considered the question carefully. "Sir, based on what I saw, one of our Dreadnoughts could probably destroy an entire Council fleet. The Vectar might be more challenging because of their adaptive technology, but our kinetic weapons should still be effective." "How many Dreadnoughts do we have operational?" 37, sir. With more coming online every month. Hyunwoo made another decision. "I want you to monitor the Vectar advance. When they make their first real attack on Council territory, I want to know about it immediately." "Yes, sir. Are we going to help the Council?" "Not yet. We need to learn more about both sides before we reveal ourselves. The galaxy thinks Earth is helpless. Let them keep thinking that for now." Over the next 3 months, Jinho's stealth ships monitored the situation from the shadows. The Vectar continued their advance, and the Council's fear grew stronger every day. So-young intercepted more and more desperate communications between Council worlds. Then, the first attack came. The Vectar hit a Council outpost in the Rigel sector without warning. Jinho watched from a safe distance as bioships tore through the Council's defenses like paper. The battle lasted less than an hour. When it was over, the outpost was gone and the Council fleet was scattered. "Admiral, you need to see this," Jinho said when he returned to Luna Station. "The Vectar are not just conquering territory, they are consuming it." The video footage was disturbing. After destroying the Council ships, the Vectar bioships began feeding on the metal and energy from the outpost. They grew larger and stronger with each victory. "How many Council ships did they destroy?" Hyunwoo asked. "All of them. 43 vessels, including 2 of their largest cruisers. The Council did not even damage one Vectar ship." So-young looked up from her communications console. "Admiral, I am receiving a galaxy-wide transmission from the Council. They are calling for help. Put it on the main screen." The image of an insect-like alien appeared on the screen. It spoke in a language that sounded like clicking and buzzing, but So-young's translation software converted it to English in real time. "Citizens of the galaxy, this is Admiral Thren Cole of the Galactic Council Defense Force. We face an unprecedented threat. The Vectar Empire has begun an invasion of Council space. Their bioships are unlike anything we have encountered before. We call upon all spacefaring civilizations to join us in defending the galaxy against this menace." The transmission ended and the office fell silent. "Are they talking to us?" Jinho asked. "No," So Young replied. "They still do not know we have space travel capabilities. This message is for other civilizations they have not contacted yet." "Will anyone answer their call?" Hyunwoo asked. "I doubt it. Most species in the galaxy either belong to the Council already or are not advanced enough to help. The few independent civilizations are probably too far away or too weak to make a difference." Hyunwoo walked to the window again. Earth looked peaceful from here, but he knew that behind the scenes, thousands of people were working to prepare for humanity's eventual emergence. The Vectar war machine moved like a disease across the galaxy. Admiral Threncol watched helplessly from his command ship as another Council world fell to the bioships. In just 3 weeks, the enemy had destroyed everything the Council sent. Against them, Thren-S species, the Zephyrians, had compound eyes that could see across multiple spectrums of light. But even with his superior vision, he could not see a way to win this war. The Council's energy weapons were useless against bioships that adapted faster than their crews could adjust their targeting systems. "Sir, we are receiving another distress call from the Kepler system," his communications officer said. "The colony there is requesting immediate evacuation." "How many transports do we have available?" 12, sir. But the colony has over 2 million inhabitants." Threncol's mandibles clicked together in frustration. "Send what we can. Tell the colony governors to prioritize the young and the essential personnel." It was a death sentence for most of the colonists, and everyone on the bridge knew it. The Vector did not take prisoners. They consumed everything they conquered, turning the raw materials into more bioships. "Sir, incoming message from the High Council on Nexus Prime." "Put it through." The holographic image of Chancellor Veltar appeared above the command table. The Nexarian leader's crystalline face showed no emotion, but Threncol could hear the strain in her voice. "Admiral, what is your assessment of the military situation?" "Chancellor, we cannot stop them with conventional tactics. Our weapons are ineffective, and they learn from every engagement. We need a new approach." "What do you recommend?" "We need allies. Civilizations with different technology, different weapons. The Vectar have adapted to our energy-based systems, but they might be vulnerable to other forms of attack. We have sent messages to every known spacefaring species. None have responded. Then we need to contact species we have not reached before. Even primitive civilizations might have something useful." Chancellor Veltar was quiet for a moment. "Do what you think is best, Admiral, but do it quickly. Our analysts believe the Vectar will reach the core worlds within 2 months." The transmission ended, leaving Threncol alone with his impossible task. How do you fight an enemy that grows stronger with every victory? Meanwhile, on Earth, President Namsik convened an emergency meeting of the World Defense Council. Representatives from every major nation gathered in the underground bunker beneath Geneva. The room had been built during the Cold War, but today it served a different purpose. "Ladies and gentlemen, the situation in space has become critical," Namsik said, activating the holographic display. "Our monitoring stations have confirmed that the Vectar Empire has conquered 15 Council worlds in the past month." The German representative, Chancellor Muller, spoke first. "How does this affect Earth's security?" "According to our projections, if the Vectar maintain their current rate of expansion, they will reach our solar system within 8 years, replied General Mi Young, Earth's head of space defense. 8 years, said the American Secretary of Defense. That gives us time to negotiate, maybe find a peaceful solution. You cannot negotiate with the Vectar, interrupted Dr. So Young from her position at the communications console. I have been monitoring their internal communications. They view all non-Vectar life as resources to be consumed. There is no diplomacy with them. The Russian representative leaned forward. Then what do you recommend? President Namsik stood up. I recommend we accelerate Project Aegis to full wartime production, and I recommend we consider making contact with the Galactic Council. Reveal ourselves? Asked the Chinese delegate. We agreed to maintain secrecy until we were ready. The situation has changed, General Myung said. Our original plan was to observe for another decade before making contact. But if the Council falls to the Vectar, we will face them alone. How ready are we? Namsik asked. Me-Young pulled up a detailed report. We have 37 Dreadnoughts operational, with 15 more nearing completion. Our shipyards can produce one new Dreadnought every 6 weeks. We also have over 300 smaller vessels, destroyers, frigates, and stealth ships. What about our secret weapons? The kinetic bombardment systems are ready, the electromagnetic pulse arrays have passed all tests, and Engineer Taemin has completed the first production run of AI-guided fighters. Taemin, a young engineer who had joined the project straight from university, stood up nervously. Sir, the AI fighters are our most advanced system. Each fighter is completely autonomous and can adapt its tactics in real time. A single squadron of 20 fighters could theoretically defeat a Council cruiser. Theoretically? Asked the British representative. We have not tested them against alien technology yet, but the simulations are promising. President Namsik looked around the room. I call for a vote. All in favor of revealing Earth's military capabilities to the Galactic Council? Every hand in the room went up. Motion carried. General Mi-Young, begin preparations for first contact. Dr. So-Young, I want you to draft a message to the Council. Make it clear that Earth is willing to help, but do not reveal the full extent of our capabilities yet. While Earth's leaders planned their emergence into galactic politics, the war continued to rage across Council space. The Vectar had refined their tactics with each victory. Their bioships now moved in coordinated swarms, overwhelming Council defenses with sheer numbers and adaptive technology. War-Prime Geshtok commanded the Vectar fleet from his flagship, a massive bioship called the Void Devourer. The creature was over 2 kilometers long and had grown from consuming the wreckage of defeated enemies. Its hull pulsed with organic rhythms, and its weapon ports opened like mouths filled with energy. Prime, our scouts report another Council fleet moving to intercept us at the Altair system, his tactical coordinator reported. How many ships? 67 vessels, including 5 heavy cruisers. Geshtok's teeth showed in what humans would recognize as a smile. The Council never learns. Send the adaptation swarm to engage them first. Let our bioships taste their weapons before the main fleet arrives. The adaptation swarm consisted of smaller bioships designed specifically to absorb enemy fire and transmit the weapon characteristics to the larger vessels. It was a cruel but effective tactic that had given the Vectar victory after victory. The battle at Altair lasted 4 hours. When it ended, the entire Council fleet was destroyed, and the Vectar had lost only 3 minor bioships. The survivors from the Council vessels were absorbed into the bioships' organic systems, their knowledge and memories becoming part of the Vectar collective. Admiral Threncole received the news of the defeat while meeting with his senior staff. The loss of 67 ships was catastrophic. The Council simply did not have enough vessels to continue fighting at this rate. Sir, we have to consider evacuation of the core worlds, his chief of staff suggested. Evacuate to where? The Vectar will eventually consume the entire galaxy if we do not stop them here. What about the message we sent to primitive civilizations? Any responses? Threncole's compound eyes shifted through different spectrums of light as he considered the question. Nothing yet. Most primitive species would not even understand our communications protocols. Unknown to the Council, Earth's monitoring stations had received their message 3 days earlier. Dr. So-Young had been working around the clock to compose a response. The message had to be perfect. It would be humanity's first words to the galaxy, and those words would shape everything that followed. Admiral Hyunwoo, the message is ready, So-Young announced as she entered his office on Luna Station. Read it to me. To the Galactic Council. This is Dr. So-Young of the Terran Republic. We have received your call for assistance against the Vectar Empire. Earth stands ready to aid in the defense of free worlds against tyranny. We await your response and instructions for cooperation. That is it? Simple and direct. We do not Want to reveal too much about our capabilities yet? Hyunwoo nodded. Send it. The message traveled across space using quantum communication technology that Earth had developed in secret. It reached Council space in less than 6 hours, appearing simultaneously on every Council monitoring station. The reaction was immediate confusion. According to every Council database, Earth was a pre-contact civilization with no space travel capability. How were they sending quantum communications? Admiral Thren Cole stared at the message for several minutes before calling his intelligence. Chief, run a complete scan of all files related to the Sol system. I want to know everything about this planet Earth. Sir, our last survey was conducted 87 years ago. According to the files, the dominant species had just achieved powered flight. Then our files are wrong. A species does not go from powered flight to quantum communications in less than a century, not without help. Should we respond to their message? Thren Cole considered the options. The Council was desperate. They were losing the war and had no other allies to call upon. Even if Earth was less advanced than they claimed, any help was better than none. Send a response. Tell them we welcome their assistance and ask what kind of aid they can provide. While the Council debated Earth's offer, the Vectar continued their advance. Another 3 worlds fell, bringing them closer to the Council's core systems. Time was running out, and both sides knew. War Prime Geshtok stood in the command chamber of the Void Devourer, watching as his bioships consumed another Council world. The planet's surface glowed with organic fires as Vectar feeding tendrils drained its resources. Soon, there would be nothing left but empty rock floating in space. Prime, our scouts report heavy Council activity in the Kepler system, his tactical coordinator announced. They appear to be massing their remaining fleets for a final defense. Geshtok's predatory eyes gleamed with satisfaction. How many ships? Over 400 vessels from 12 different species. It is the largest fleet the Council has ever assembled. Perfect. We will crush them all at once and end this war. Begin moving the main fleet toward Kepler. I want to arrive with overwhelming force. The Vectar Empire had learned the art of war through centuries of conquest. Their bioships were not just weapons. They were living ecosystems that grew stronger with each victory. The creatures that formed their hulls could adapt to any threat, evolving new defenses faster than most species could develop new weapons. But Geshtok was about to face something that no Vectar had ever encountered. An enemy they knew nothing about. On Earth, Dr. Jae-hwan worked through the night in his laboratory beneath the Korean Military Academy. The walls were covered with holographic displays showing every Vectar battle recorded by human surveillance drones. He had studied their tactics for months, looking for weaknesses. Computer, replay the Altair engagement, focusing on bioship response patterns, he commanded. The hologram showed the recent battle where the Vectar had destroyed an entire Council fleet. Jae-hwan watched carefully as the bioships encountered different types of energy weapons. Each time they were hit, the creatures' hulls would shift and change, developing resistance to that specific type of attack. Computer, analyze bioship. Adaptation speed when facing energy weapons. Average adaptation time 4.7 minutes for complete resistance development. What about kinetic weapons? Any data? No kinetic weapons detected in available battle records. That was the key. The Council had been fighting the same way for thousands of years, using energy-based weapons exclusively. They had never tried simple, brutal kinetic force. Jae-hwan activated his communication system. Admiral Hyunwoo, I have completed my analysis. Go ahead, Doctor. The Vectar bioships can adapt to energy weapons because they can analyze the quantum signature of the attack and develop countermeasures. But kinetic weapons are different. They are just matter moving very fast. There is no quantum signature to analyze, no energy pattern to counter. Are you saying our kinetic bombardment systems will be effective? More than effective, sir. If my calculations are correct, tungsten projectiles moving at 30% of light speed will punch through bioship hulls like paper. The creatures will not be able to adapt fast enough to counter pure kinetic force. What about their numbers? Intelligence reports suggest they have over 300 bioships. That is where our AI fighters come in. Each fighter can operate independently and make tactical decisions faster than any biological brain. If we deploy enough of them, we can overwhelm the Vectar command and control systems. Hyun-woo was quiet for a moment. Doctor, in your professional opinion, can we defeat them? Sir, based on my analysis, I believe one human dreadnought could destroy an entire Vectar fleet. The question is not whether we can defeat them, but whether we should reveal the full extent of our capabilities. While Earth's military leaders debated strategy, the situation in Council space grew more desperate by the hour. Admiral Threncole stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching as the largest fleet in Council history assembled around Kepler Station. The station itself was a marvel of galactic engineering, built at the intersection of 7 major hyperspace routes. It served as the gateway to the Council's core worlds. If Kepler fell, the path to the capital systems would be open. Admiral, we are receiving a response from Earth, his communications officer announced. Put it on the main screen. Dr. So-Young's image appeared on the view screen. Behind her, Threncole could see what looked like an advanced command center, though he could not identify the technology being used. Admiral Threncole, this is Dr. So-Young of the Terran Republic. We are honored by your acceptance of our offer to help. Earth is prepared to send military assistance to aid in the defense of Kepler Station. Dr. So-Young, we appreciate any help you can provide. However, I must ask about your military capabilities. Our records indicate that your species has not yet achieved faster than light travel. So-Young smiled. Admiral, your records are somewhat outdated. We will arrive at Kepler Station in 18 hours. I believe you will find our capabilities adequate for the task at hand. The transmission ended, leaving Threncole confused. How could a pre-contact civilization reach Kepler in 18 hours? It would take his fastest ships 3 days to make that journey from the Sol system. Sir, should we inform the fleet commanders about this Earth assistance? His chief of staff asked. Yes, but tell them not to expect much. Even if the humans have achieved basic space travel, they cannot have military technology advanced enough to make a real difference. Captain Sung-ho of the Dreadnought Busan Thunder received his mission briefing while his ship was still hidden behind Jupiter's largest moon. His orders were simple but critical. Conduct a limited engagement against Vectar forces to test human weapon systems without revealing Earth's location. Captain, we are approaching the outer edge of the battle zone, his navigation officer reported. All stop. Passive sensors only. I want to observe the enemy before we engage. The Busan Thunder was Earth's newest dreadnought, equipped with the most advanced stealth systems human technology could produce. From a distance of 10 light minutes, it could observe the gathering fleets without being detected. Sir, sensors show 412 Council ships in defensive formation around Kepler Station. Vectar forces are approaching from multiple vectors. Estimated enemy strength, 327 bioships. Sung-ho studied the tactical display. The Council ships were arranged in traditional defensive patterns that had not changed in centuries. The Vectar approached in loose swarms, their bioships moving with predatory grace. Sir, Vectar scouts are beginning to probe the Council perimeter, his tactical officer reported. Let them engage first. I want to see how both sides fight before we reveal ourselves. The battle began with a series of small skirmishes as Vectar scouts tested the Council's defenses. Energy beams flashed across space as both sides exchanged fire. The bioships absorbed the damage and adapted quickly, their hulls shifting to counter the Council's weapons. Sir, Council forces are falling back. They are losing ships faster than they can replace them. How many? 17 Council vessels. Destroyed, 0 Vectar losses. Sung-ho made his decision. Battle stations target the Vectar scout formation. Load kinetic bombardment system with tungsten rounds. Sir, targeting 8 Vectar bioships. Range, 2.4 million kilometers. Firing solution locked. Fire. The Busan Thunder unleashed its first attack on alien forces. 8 tungsten projectiles, each weighing 50 kilograms, accelerated to 30% of light speed using magnetic rail systems. The projectiles crossed the distance to their targets in 27 seconds. The Vectar scouts never saw them coming. The tungsten rounds punched through their bioship hulls like bullets through tissue paper. The creature's adaptive systems tried to respond, but there was nothing to adapt to. Pure kinetic force traveling at relativistic speeds could not be countered by biological evolution. 8 bioships died in less than a minute. Sir, the Vectar are trying to locate our position. They are scanning across all known frequency ranges. Let them look, they will not find us. Continue targeting scout formations. Fire at will. Over the next 30 minutes, Sung Ho's ship destroyed 26 Vectar bioships without taking a single hit in return. The enemy's confusion was obvious as they tried desperately to find the source of the attacks. War-Prime Geshtok received the reports with growing anger. Someone was picking off his scouts with weapons he had never encountered. Energy signatures suggested projectile weapons, but moving at speeds that should be impossible. Find them, he roared at his tactical staff. Nothing can hide from Vectar sensors. But the Busan Thunder remained invisible, its stealth systems far more advanced than anything the Vectar had ever faced. Captain Sung Ho continued his one-sided battle until he received new orders from Admiral Hyun Woo. Captain, withdraw from the battle zone. Do not engage the main Vectar fleet. Return to base for debriefing. Sir, we could destroy their entire advance force. Negative. Your mission was to test our weapons, and you have done that successfully. We do not want to reveal too much before the main fleet arrives as the Busan Thunder disappeared into hyperspace. Both the Council and Vectar forces were left wondering what had just happened. Someone with impossible weapons had intervened in the battle, but no one knew who. Admiral Threncole studied the sensor readings from the mysterious attack. The projectiles had been fired from extreme range with perfect accuracy. No Council weapon could achieve such precision at that distance. Sir, could this be the Earth assistance we were promised? His tactical officer asked. Impossible. A pre-contact. War-Prime Geshtok could not sleep. For 3 days he had searched every sensor reading, every tactical report, trying to understand who had destroyed his scouts. The Vectar Empire had conquered dozens of worlds, but they had never faced an elite enemy who could kill bioships from such impossible distances. Prime, our deep space sensors have detected unusual hyperspace signatures approaching the Kepler system, his intelligence coordinator reported. Council reinforcements? Negative, Prime. The signatures are unlike anything in our database. The B ships are large, very large, and they are moving faster than Council vessels should be capable of. Geshtok's predatory instincts sharpened. How many ships? 30 contacts, Prime. But the energy signatures suggest they may be larger than our heavy bioships. Impossible. The Council does not have ships that large. Prime, these signatures do not match any known Council technology. For the first time in his military career, Geshtok felt something he had never experienced before: uncertainty. The Vectar Empire had built its power on understanding and adapting to enemy capabilities, but now they faced weapons they could not identify, and ships they could not classify. Redirect half our fleet to investigate these new contacts. I want to know who they are before they reach Kepler. Admiral Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of the flagship Terra's Wrath, watching as 30 human dreadnoughts dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kepler system. Each ship was a masterpiece of human engineering, carrying weapons that the galaxy had never seen. Admiral, we are receiving a transmission from Kepler Station, the communications officer announced. Put it through. Admiral Threncole's image appeared on the main screen. The Zephyrian's compound eyes shifted through different spectrums as he tried to process what his sensors were showing him. Unknown vessels. This is Admiral Threncole of the Galactic Council Defense Force. Please identify yourselves and state your intentions. Hyunwoo stepped forward. Admiral Threncole, this is Admiral Hyunwoo of the Terran Defense Force. Earth has come to assist in the defense of free worlds against the Vectar Empire. The silence that followed was deafening. Threncole's mandibles clicked rapidly as he processed this information. According to every database, Earth was a primitive world with no space travel capability. Admiral Hyunwoo, our records indicate that your species has not achieved faster than light travel. How are you here? Admiral, your records are significantly outdated. Humanity has been traveling between stars for several decades. We have been observing galactic affairs while preparing for this moment. Preparing for what moment? The moment when we would be needed to defend civilization against those who would destroy it. Dr. So Young, serving as Earth's liaison officer, appeared beside Hyunwoo on the transmission. Admiral Threncole, we have been monitoring the war since it began. We understand the Vectar threat and we know how to defeat them. Threncole's tactical officer whispered something in his ear. The Admiral's expression shifted from confusion to shock. Admiral Hyunwoo, our sensors indicate that your ships are over 1 kilometer in length. How is this possible? We will explain later. Right now we need to focus on the immediate threat. Our long-range sensors show a large Vectar force approaching this position. Yes, over 300 bioships. We estimate they will arrive within 6 hours. Hyunwoo smiled grimly. Then we have time to prepare. Admiral, I recommend you withdraw your fleet to a safe distance. What we are about to do may be unprecedented. Before Threncole could respond, the transmission was interrupted by an urgent alert from his sensor station. Sir, Vectar advance. Forces are approaching from the outer system. Approximately 150 bioships. So soon? They were not supposed to arrive for hours. Captain Yoonji of the Soul's Pride stepped forward on the human transmission. Admiral Threncole, with your permission, we will handle the advance force. Please keep your ships clear of the engagement zone. Captain, that is 150 bioships. How many vessels do you have? 30 dreadnoughts and supporting fighters. It will be sufficient. Threncole could not believe what he was hearing. 30 ships against 150? It was impossible. But something in the human's calm confidence made him hesitate. Very well. Council forces will maintain position around Kepler Station. But if your ships are in danger, we will attempt to assist. That will not be necessary, Unji replied. The transmission ended and the human fleet began to move. Threncole watched in fascination as the dreadnoughts formed a battle line unlike anything he had ever seen. The ships moved with perfect precision, their formations too exact to be controlled by biological crews. Sir, the human ships are accelerating beyond safe limits, his navigation officer reported. They should not be able to maintain formation at those speeds. Keep monitoring, I want to record everything. Captain Yoonji studied the tactical display as the Vectar advance force approached. 150 bioships moved in the typical Vectar swarm formation, designed to overwhelm enemies through superior numbers and adaptive defenses. Captain, enemy fleet will be in weapons range in 12 minutes, her tactical officer reported. All ships, this is Yoonji. Prepare for combat. Remember, we are not just fighting for Earth today. We are fighting for every free world in the galaxy. Captain, receiving acknowledgement from all ships. Kinetic bombardment systems are charged and ready. AI fighter squadrons are prepared for launch. Yoonji activated the fleet-wide communication system. All ships commence attack pattern alpha. Target the lead bioships first. Show them what human engineering can accomplish. The battle began at a range of 5 million kilometers. 30 human dreadnoughts opened fire simultaneously, launching tungsten projectiles at significant fractions of light speed. The projectiles crossed the vast distance in less than a minute. The Vectar bioships never had a chance to adapt. The kinetic rounds punched through their organic hulls like bullets through paper. 50 bioships died in the first volley. Sir, enemy fleet is attempting to scatter, the tactical officer reported. Launch fighters. Do not let any of them escape. Thousands of AI-guided fighters poured from the human ships like angry insects. Each fighter was controlled by an artificial intelligence that could process tactical information faster than any biological brain. They moved with inhuman precision, targeting Vectar bioships with weapons designed specifically to counter organic defenses. The Vectar tried to adapt, but they had never faced anything like this. Their bioships could evolve defenses against energy weapons, but the human fighters used a combination of kinetic projectiles, electromagnetic pulses, and gravitational disruptors. There was no single pattern to adapt to. Engineer Timon watched from the Terra's wrath as his AI fighters performed exactly as designed. Each unit operated independently, making thousands of tactical decisions every second. The artificial intelligences learned from each engagement, sharing information instantaneously across the entire swarm. "Sir, enemy resistance is collapsing," he reported to Admiral Hyunwoo. "Fighter effectiveness is exceeding all simulation parameters." "How many enemy ships remain?" 17 bioships, sir. They are attempting to withdraw. Do not let them escape. We cannot allow the Vectar to analyze our tactics. The remaining bioships died within minutes, overwhelmed by weapons they could not understand or counter. The entire engagement lasted less than 20 minutes. 150 Vectar bioships had been destroyed without the loss of a single human vessel. On Kepler Station, Admiral Threncole stared at his sensor readings in disbelief. The humans had just accomplished something no Council fleet had ever managed. They had destroyed a Vectar force without taking casualties. "Sir, we are receiving another transmission from the human fleet," his communications officer announced. Admiral Hyunwoo appeared on the screen again. "Admiral Threncole, the advance force has been eliminated. Our sensors indicate the main Vectar fleet is still approaching. Estimated arrival time 4 hours. Admiral, what we just witnessed was impossible. How did you defeat them so easily? The Vectar rely on adaptation to survive. But you cannot adapt to weapons that use different principles of physics every few seconds. Our AI-controlled fighters used randomized attack patterns that prevented the bioships from developing effective countermeasures," Dr. So Young added. "Admiral, the Vectar have been successful because they fight opponents who use the same basic technology for centuries. But humanity developed our weapons specifically to counter adaptive defenses. How long have you been preparing for this war?" "Since we first learned of the Vectar's existence, we have been monitoring galactic affairs for decades, studying both Council and Vectar military capabilities. We designed our entire fleet to fight this specific enemy." Threncole's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "Why did you remain hidden for so long?" "Because we needed to understand the galaxy before we revealed ourselves. Knowledge is power, Admiral. And sometimes the greatest advantage comes from being underestimated." The conversation was interrupted by an urgent alert. War Prime Geshtok's main fleet had arrived at the edge of the system. 270 bioships, including the massive Void Devourer, dropped out of hyperspace and began advancing toward Kepler Station. "Admiral Hyunwoo, we face the largest Vectar fleet ever assembled." War Prime Geshtok stood in the command chamber of the Void Devourer, watching as his massive fleet approached the mysterious ships defending Kepler Station. 270 bioships filled the darkness of space, their organic hulls pulsing with predatory hunger. "Prime, we are receiving a transmission from the unknown vessels," his communications officer reported. "Put it through." Admiral Hyunwoo's image appeared on the bioship's living view screen. The human looked calm, almost relaxed, despite facing the largest Vectar fleet ever assembled. "War Prime Geshtok, this is Admiral Hyunwoo of the Terran Defense Force. You are ordered to withdraw your forces from Council space immediately." Geshtok's predatory laugh echoed through the command chamber. "Human, your species is not even supposed to have space travel. You think 30 ships can stand against the might of the Vectar Empire? I am giving you one chance to surrender, peacefully. Withdraw to your home system and we will allow your species to survive." "You threaten me? The Vectar have conquered hundreds of worlds. We have never been defeated." Hyunwoo's expression did not change. "War Prime, you have never faced humanity before. You have 1 hour to begin your withdrawal. If you do not comply, we will remove you by force." The transmission ended, leaving Geshtok furious. How dare this primitive species threaten the Vectar Empire? He would crush these humans and feed their ships to his biofleet. "All vessels, attack formation. We destroy these insects now." On the bridge of the Terra's Wrath, Admiral Hyunwoo watched as the Vectar fleet began to advance. Captain Yoonji stood beside him, studying the tactical display with professional interest. Admiral, enemy fleet is moving into attack formation. 270 bioships, including one massive command vessel. How long until they reach optimal firing range? 18 minutes, sir. Hyunwoo activated the fleet communication system. All ships, this is Admiral Hyunwoo. Today we best to end the Vectar threat once and for all. Show the galaxy what human determination can accomplish. The response came from 30 dreadnoughts simultaneously. For Earth and freedom. Dr. Jae Hwan monitored the approaching enemy from his position at the tactical station. Everything he had predicted about Vectar weaknesses was about to be tested in the largest space battle in galactic history. Admiral, the bioships are maintaining their traditional swarm formation. They are concentrating their heaviest vessels in the center, with smaller ships forming protective screens. Perfect. They are fighting the same way they always have. They have no idea what we are capable of. Engineer Taemin prepared to deploy the largest AI fighter swarm ever assembled. 15,000 autonomous fighters waited in launch bays across the human fleet, each one guided by artificial intelligence that could outthink any biological brain. Sir, all fighter squadrons report ready for launch. AI systems are online and synchronized. Launch when we reach optimal range. I want total fighter superiority from the first moment of engagement. Admiral Threncole watched from Kepler Station. As the two fleets approached each other, his council forces had withdrawn to a safe distance, but their sensors continued to monitor the approaching battle. Sir, the humans are maintaining their battle line formation. They show no signs of fear, despite being outnumbered 9-1. Keep recording everything. Whatever happens here will change galactic history. The battle began at maximum range. 30 human dreadnoughts opened fire simultaneously, their kinetic bombardment systems launching tungsten projectiles at relativistic speeds. The projectiles crossed 5 million kilometers of space in less than 2 minutes. The Vectar bioships had no defense against pure kinetic force, traveling at such incredible velocities. The tungsten rounds punched through organic hulls like bullets through tissue paper. 40 bioships died in the first volley before they could even attempt to adapt. Prime, we are taking massive casualties. Geshtok's tactical coordinator reported, our bioships cannot adapt to these kinetic weapons. All ships close to melee range. We will overwhelm them with numbers. But the Vectar fleet never reached melee range. As they tried to close the distance, 15,000 AI fighters poured from the human dreadnoughts like a mechanical swarm. Each fighter was equipped with weapons designed specifically to counter organic defenses. Tai-Min watched with satisfaction as his artificial intelligences performed exactly as programmed. The AI fighters attacked in coordinated waves, using randomized weapon patterns that prevented the bioships from developing effective countermeasures. Sir, fighter effectiveness is exceeding all projections. The AI systems are learning and adapting faster than the bioships can evolve. How many enemy vessels have we destroyed? 123, sir. We have lost 14 fighters. The Vectar fleet began to break apart under the relentless assault. Bioships that had conquered dozens of worlds were dying by the gear, dozens unable to adapt to weapons that changed their attack patterns every few seconds. War-Prime. Geshtok realized with growing horror that his mighty fleet was being destroyed by an enemy he had underestimated. The humans fought with weapons and tactics unlike anything the Vectar had ever encountered. All ships withdraw, fall back to defensive positions. But it was too late. The human fighters had achieved complete superiority in space, picking off bioships one by one with surgical precision. The dreadnoughts continued their bombardment, each volley destroying multiple enemy vessels. Captain Yoonji monitored the battle from the Soul's Pride, watching as her tactical display showed the systematic destruction of the Vectar fleet. VR. Enemies' inability to adapt to kinetic weapons and AI-controlled fighters was exactly what human strategists had predicted. Captain, the enemy command ship is attempting to withdraw, her tactical officer reported. Do not let it escape. Target the Void Devourer with all available weapons. The massive bioship that had served as Geshtok's flagship tried desperately to reach the edge of the system. But human fighters swarmed around it like angry insects, stripping away its defenses piece by piece. War-Prime Geshtok watched helplessly as his command chamber filled with damage reports. The Void Devourer, the most powerful bioship ever grown, was dying under the assault of weapons it could not understand. Prime. All propulsion systems are failing. We are losing structural integrity across all sections. Geshtok made a final decision. If he was going to die, he would take as many humans with him as possible. All remaining bioships ramming speed. We will show these humans the fury of the Vectar. But even this desperate tactic failed. The AI fighters anticipated the suicide, attack and destroyed the remaining bioships before they could reach the human dreadnoughts. The Void Devourer exploded in a brilliant flash of organic fire, taking War Prime Geshtok with it. The battle lasted exactly 18 minutes. 270 Vectar bioships had been destroyed. The human fleet suffered no ship losses and minimal fighter casualties. Admiral Hyunwoo broadcast on all galactic frequencies as the last enemy vessel was destroyed. This is Admiral Hyunwoo of the Terran Defense Force. The Vectar threat to the galaxy has been eliminated. Any remaining Vectar forces have 24 hours to surrender or withdraw to their home system. The response was immediate and widespread. Across Vectar space, bioship commanders who had witnessed the battle through quantum communication links began surrendering to local council forces. The Vectar Empire, built on the belief that they were the ultimate predators, collapsed overnight. When faced with a superior hunter, Dr. So-young was appointed as Earth's first official ambassador to the Galactic Council. Her first address to the Council Assembly was broadcast across the galaxy, introducing humanity to civilizations that had never known such a species existed. Representatives of the galaxy, I am Dr. So-young of the Terran Republic. For decades, humanity has watched the cosmos from our small blue world, learning about your civilizations and preparing for the day when we would join the galactic community. The council chamber was filled with representatives from dozens of species, all staring in amazement at this human who claimed to represent a species they had dismissed as primitive. "Why did you remain hidden for so long?" asked Chancellor Veltar of the Nexarians. "Because wisdom requires patience. We observed your conflicts and studied your technologies. We learned that the galaxy was not ready for another military power until it faced a threat that existing forces could not handle." Admiral Threncol, who had been promoted to Supreme Commander of Council Forces after the victory at Kepler, spoke next. "What are humanity's intentions now that the Vectar threat is ended? We offer our protection to any world that seeks peace and our strength against any force that would bring war. But we will not impose our will on free civilizations. Within months, the galaxy entered a new era of peace backed by human military power. General Mi Young established the Terran Peacekeeping Force with human dreadnoughts stationed throughout Council space. The sight of these massive vessels served as a deterrent to potential aggressors, while providing real protection to member worlds. The Council's ceremonial fleets were replaced by ships designed using human technology, combining diplomatic capabilities with genuine combat effectiveness. Species that had known only theoretical warfare for millennia began training with human instructors who understood that